Hey, my name is Hayley Thompson, and today I'm going to be discussing the external regulation motives to exercise and the differences between males and females. It is well documented that regularly participating in a sufficient level of physical activity is important to reduce the impact of disease and to prolong the quality of life. It is highly surprising that exercise promotion is more important now than ever, given the long-standing observation that engaging in regular physical activity reduces the likelihood of most chronic diseases. As a consequence of Australia's ageing population, it is the role of coaching and conditioning staff to reinforce intrinsic motivation pathways among all exercise and sporting participants who are currently extrinsically motivated, to ensure that physical activity is prolonged throughout life and to retain quality and independence. Motivation involves energy, direction, persistence, and all levels of activation and intention. Extrinsic motivation lies in the middle of amotivation, meaning no motivation, and intrinsic motivation, participating due to the passion of the activity. Extrinsic motivation is strongly influenced by external rewards, such as material rewards, praise, social pressures, and peer approval. In 1997, Mullen and Markland stated that the success of adhering to regular exercise is assured if the participants are intrinsically motivated. Other theories highlight that if an individual is involved in physical activity or sport due to external sources, once the stimuli has ceased, so does participation. Results from a study investigating the relationship between exercise participation and personal characteristics in females concluded that external regulation exercise motives were associated with low levels of self-esteem and self-presentation. Therefore, interventions must be implemented to encourage externally regulated individuals to adapt to intrinsic motivated pathways to ensure participation is continued. Further, by understanding differences that exist between external regulation levels of males and females, significant focus can be directed to this gender. This study aims to underpin the external regulatory motives towards exercise between males and females. By doing so, interventions can be implemented to reinforce intrinsic motivation among these individuals. A previous study developed the conclusion that males are more commonly externally regulated than females. After investigation, behaviour, motivation, and dependence on exercise. This could be due to the perceived ideal male body. However, another study highlighted factors that motivate females to become involved in exercise during adolescence, possessed opposing findings. The physically active females involved in this study reported participating in exercise for health benefits, as their perception of health was shaped by external influences such as media, peers, and parents. This is seen as an external regulator. Female participants also associated exercise involvement with body dissatisfaction, low self-esteem, perfectionism, and with being thin. Therefore, it can be hypothesized that levels of external regulated motivation will exist higher in women than men. It may also arise during this previous study that claims from other authors aren't validated to this particular population, meaning that there'll be no statistical difference between males and females due to the fact that they exercise regularly and they know the benefits of exercise. 51 healthy students participated in the study. Students enrolled in ESSC 12007, Applied Sport and Exercise Psychology, complete a total of 5 online-based surveys in relation to personal influences of eating a healthy diet, smoking habits, alcohol consumption, resistance training, and motives for exercise participation. Students completed an informed consent and guaranteed confidentiality of all personal information before the surveys were made available. It must be noted that due to the questionnaire questions being self-evaluated, that people may answer these questions incorrectly and unrealistic data may have been provided. All participants were guaranteed strict confidentiality rights by the experimenter who administered the online surveys, and all personal information of the participants was deleted before the surveys were made available online. The results from each survey were made available on the internet to conduct further examination, and the approval was granted by Institutional Review Board before the study commenced. The surveys were completed by participants during their own leisure time over a period of 1 week, and students were asked to log on to their Moodle accounts to do this. In each survey, participants were given 6 possible answer outcomes to answer each statement on a rating scale from 1 being not true at all and 6 being very true. From this, the values of questions 1, 6, 11 and 16 of the survey, focusing on external regulation of exercise participation, were evaluated. Data from these questions for both male and females were extracted and placed into a separate Microsoft Excel 2010 spreadsheet to calculate mean plus or minus standard deviations of each participant and perform an independent t-test with a significant level of p equals less than 0.05 to determine if a statistical difference existed between genders relative to external regulation levels of exercise. After the independent t-test was performed, it was found that no significant difference was found between external regulation motives between males and females. Mean scores for externally regulated motivation levels to exercise between males and females are summarised on the table on screen. And even though there was no significant difference, as you can see in this figure on screen, that males are noticeably more externally regulated to exercise than females, especially in question 11. These results can be justified by highlighting that all participants study an applied sport psychology course at CQU and have extensive background knowledge on the benefits of exercising, which limits the testing only being performed on the population. Due to this, students may have also feel pressured in reporting healthy behaviour, which may bias the results. It's appropriate to note that the outcomes of the study would be considerably different if students majored in a study of arts or a study of math. Furthermore, studies that investigate extrinsic motivation focus on the younger population, which was mentioned before, who remain under the supervision of parents or guardians, who are important mediators of motivation behaviour. Coaching and conditioning staff can implement intrinsic motivation interventions onto those who are currently externally regulated towards participation. Programs such as the Coaching Effectiveness Program can be introduced to help inform coaches about the benefits of intrinsic motivation and hopefully implement these onto their players. In a result, this will prolong participation in sport and exercise and fundamentally improve the health of the population.